Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. And this morning is blooming cold. It's 2 degrees. It's been a beautifully clear sky for the last couple of nights. I've got to drive from here in northern Aberdeenshire down to Teesside, and that's a trip I do relatively often, but not quite as often when it's as cold as this. Is that going to make the car burn more power? Is that going to slow me down because I need to charge longer? Let's find out. I've been going for 12 miles and I've already made my first stop. And I know people have said on my other road trip videos, why do you keep making stops? It's called having a job. And in my case, that means sometimes I need to stop and do something. So in this case, I absolutely had to stop, pull over, get on emails because the phone rang and something needed doing urgently. I've done that, I've carried on. What's the main thing that I've noticed though this morning? Well, how can I put it? It's cold. It's 2 degrees, but there is a cold shimmer in the air, and it actually is quite pretty. That of course means that there's also a very low sun, which is why you're getting this wonderful light hiding my face, which is probably to most people's benefit. Anyway, I'm going to take it reasonably steady on some of these roads, especially early on, just because it does look a wee bit skatey. Now, it is mid-November as I'm recording this, and the one thing that I really need to be thinking about is potentially winter tyres. And it's not something that I've ever bothered with before. When I lived in England, there really didn't seem to be much point, but having done 2 Aberdeenshire winters, it's probably quite sensible. I have got snow socks to get me out of trouble. I will put a link to the snow socks video up here so that you can watch that. They're very effective. They really are very good, but they are to get you out of trouble. The idea about having better tyres than just straight summer ones is you won't get into trouble in the first place. So that is something that I am actively looking at. The only problem, of course, is that this car has got big, fat, wide tyres. Quite a lot of cars these days have got big, fat, wide tyres, especially big, heavy ones like this or SUVs. So even my Volvo S90 had ridiculously wide tyres, considering that it was only a saloon. So winter tyres and things like that are slightly harder to get hold of, but I have found some. So I'm likely to do a video on that if I actually go ahead, or I might just wing it. And there's a reason for thinking winter tyres as opposed to all-season tyres. The summer tyres that I've got on have still got plenty of life left in them. So I'm thinking, basically, buy winter tyres, get these taken off and put them in the garage, run the winters, and then when it comes to the spring, get them swapped back over again. So I can probably get several more winters out of the winter tyres after I've bought them, and I'm reasonably confident that there's another summer of use in these tyres as well. So let me know in the comments if you swap your tyres over like that. I've never done it. I've seen people who've talked about it. Other people seem to have a whole new set of wheels rather than just buying tyres. Extravagant. What do you do? Or do you live in a part of the world where you don't need winter tyres or anything like that at all, as I really didn't while I was down in England? Or do you live in a part of the world where you have to have winter tyres, or even winter tyres with studs maybe? Again, let me know in the comments, what should I be looking for? What's a really good brand of winter tyres that I should be putting on this car? I mean, I've looked at Red Racine, Nokian, Nexon. There does seem to be quite a few people who are winter specialists. Nokian, definitely. Who should I get? There's been the most extraordinary story doing the rounds on the internet over the last week or so. And okay, so when I'm actually going to get this video uploaded, it'll be a couple of weeks back, but that doesn't matter. I'll put some links in the description. In essence, what's happened is a fantastic thing for everybody who drives an EV, because Tesla are going to sell their new V4 Tombstone chargers to Euro garages, so EG, who now own Asda. What that means is that non Tesla drivers are going to be able to use Tesla-made chargers all over the country. And that means they're going to be fast and they're going to be reliable. And that's a big difference, because there's a lot of chargers at the moment which are slow, broken, and when they do work, are an absolute faff to use with different charging apps and payment means and all that kind of nonsense. The new V4 chargers that Tesla have made are exactly the same kind of Tesla reliability as we are used to. They're relatively simple, they take a smaller footprint than a lot of units, and they are reliable. They have now got a payment terminal on the back, so you can literally tap and go and pay for your charging if you're in anything else. And that is what EG are going to do. This is not going to be part of the Tesla network. They are not going to be Tesla superchargers. They are going to be, they've got their own brand. But what it means is that the same kind of speed and reliability that Tesla are famous for is coming to everybody else, which is fantastic news, because we want EVs to be easier to use. And a large part of the problems that you have at the moment for anything that isn't a Tesla, if you're trying to do a long trip, is that the charging network is what I describe as the Wild West. You've got so many different charging networks and so many different providers and so many different standards and apps and payment methods. And no, you can't have electricity first. You've got to fill in your email address and your inside leg measurement and a credit card, and then we'll slowly give you power. It's not like that with Tesla. You literally get out of the car, plug it in, and it starts charging in 15 to 20 seconds. Now, it'll be a little bit longer on these new EG ones because it's going to be tap as you go. But that's still a huge step forward. So why this story is interesting is the way that it has been reported, because EG put out a press release, which, to be fair, wasn't very well written. And a lot of journalists don't really pay a huge amount of attention. They are literally cutting and pasting chunks of it. I have been a journalist, and when you're hard up against a deadline, you can get a little bit sloppy and not necessarily read the nuance of the story if the press release is badly written, as the EG one was. So a whole load of people have seen stories reported saying that Tesla are selling their superchargers to EG. And they've gone, that means that you're not going to have your superchargers anymore. And it's just not the case. Tesla are selling superchargers. They're not selling their superchargers. The supercharging network that is there is going to continue to be there, and it's going to continue to expand, and there are a lot of new sites being put in and a lot of upgrades going in, and that isn't going to change. What they're doing is selling their technology so that other people can use it, and that's what's happening. But there is a cohort of people out there on the internet who have almost whipped themselves up into a frenzy. I think actually some of them physically got off on it, thinking that something bad was happening to Tesla, when it's the actual opposite. Something good is happening to Tesla, because two things happen with this deal. Number one, the Tesla charging technology is going to become ubiquitous, because very quickly you're going to see that the Tesla chargers with EG, or in America with BP, so BP have already done a deal to buy a load of Tesla chargers, but their charging technology is simple and it's reliable, and that hopefully will make it affordable. So they're going to be rolled out by more people, is my estimation. More companies are going to buy them because they are their best option. So the Tesla technology is rolled out and starts to become ubiquitous. In America, you've also got connector gates. So there's lots and lots of different connections on the end of cables that go into EVs. We don't have those issues in the UK because most of the civilized world has coalesced around type 2 connectors and CCS. In America, you've got the weird type 1 connector, and your CCS is CCS1, which combines that weird little connector with the other two prongs, which makes no sense at all. Basically, you backed the wrong course, guys. So you can understand why the Tesla proprietary connector is something that people want to adopt, because it's just better than what's already out there. We don't have that issue in Europe. CCS2 works fine. CCS2 is everywhere. So it's not about connectors, it's about what it's connecting to. So the Tesla charging technology is going to roll out. But the second one, of course, as to why this is good news for Tesla, is this is a new revenue stream. This is a bucket load of money that Tesla are going to earn by just scaling something they've already developed, something they're already making. It is easy business to just make more of them and sell them to somebody else. So all of the people who have been having a happy time laughing, really, we're laughing at you guys, because you got this one not just wrong, but spectacularly wrong. What's happening is the opposite of what you said, and what it means is the opposite of what you think. And that's why I'm smiling. Can they please build a bypass for Dundee? Because of the entire route, whilst it's still a dual carriageway, we get this every single trip, which is why I bypass it where I can, but it's a long way around. We need an actual dual carriageway bypass for Dundee, the same way that Aberdeen has one. So they do one at Aberdeen, fab, makes my life a lot easier. Why on earth aren't we spending money on doing a fix for here? Because this isn't just me. I mean, look at the fumes coming out of the Leon in front of me. This is the air quality of all of the people who live on this road. And there are houses here, and there's a school to my left, and there's blocks of flats behind me. What is the point in having all of this traffic sat here polluting the air when we could all be whisking along much quicker on a bypass? Get on with it, guys. And this isn't about, fuel cars versus EVs, because the fuel cars wouldn't be polluting the air if they were moving along quickly, or not anything like as much anyway. Just get it done. I do think they have changed the layout though up here, because it used to be that only the right hand lane turned right. I came up here last time and they have moved the lines across, so it's now both lanes which can turn right, which is good, because I've sat in this lane and I have, despite the fact that we are bumping along and going nowhere very fast, I have passed traffic who passed me earlier. And of course the other point is I am sat on autopilot, so although I'm in traffic, I am not driving, the car is, and that makes this hugely more relaxing than it would be. And yes, other manufacturers have got other auto drive systems, so this isn't even a specific EV thing. My Volvo S90 diesel had pilot assist, which wasn't as good as autopilot, but it still did the job. Genuinely, there seems to be some fear in the comments that I've seen on previous videos about auto systems. They're much better than you think they are. We are in between Dundee and Perth, trundling along in towards these roadworks. And yes, I am using the right-hand lane because there are still 600 yards to go, and then you are supposed to merge in turn. And I know people go, you're pushing into the queue. No. If you all go into lane 1 early, then you extend the amount of lane closure, which means that there's even less capacity, and that creates the traffic jam that you're complaining about. Or we all go down here and we merge like a zipper together, and that means that the traffic flows freer, which means there is less of a queue. And this is what the highway code tells you to do: merge in turn. You even get signs at some places saying merge in turn. So merge like a zipper at the point where you need to merge, which is basically what I am going to do, because traffic is stopped ahead of me. I stick basically indicators on now, and as we all move forward, gaps will open. As the gaps open, you go into one of the gaps. It's relatively straightforward, guys. Although at the moment we appear to be completely stopped now. Good. Come on, everybody, do your thing. And there you go, the guy behind is letting me merge in turn. This is good. This is how it's supposed to work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Arrived at Edinburgh. Let's get the car on charge. Press the button on the top, flap opens. Do this wrong-handed is really difficult. Oh, come on. I'm right-handed, you'd never tell. Right, and then, never mind. What? Let's see what we get. Okay, so apparently I need to film this because some people have said that I'm lying about the charge speeds that you get when you plug in and how quickly you get the charge when you plug in. You've just seen me plug it in. 203 kilowatts. Oh, hang on, it's ramping again. 189, 201. So it's a cool battery. I mean, it has been warming the battery and preheating it, and so that it can charge faster, but that's where you get to. So about 189. Okay, so you can see 700, 800 miles an hour. That is, if it carried on for an hour, that is the amount of miles that would be added in that time. Now, clearly that's not realistic, but it just gives you an idea as to just how much power these Tesla chargers put in. It's 25 to 1. I'm hungry. I go into McDonald's. How long are you going to be sat charging for? I'm hungry. I'm going to McDonald's because it's lunchtime. So if people are telling me that they wouldn't eat at lunchtime at all on a trip this long, or they would drive whilst eating, which is complete bonkers, then I'm sorry, you're talking out your arse, boys. I've got food, but traffic at this roundabout's always horrible. So I think we'll find another way around it. Okay, about to get back in the car, and it's 2 minutes away from being ready to go. So I'm going to extend the stop because I need to eat. Not because I need to charge, because I need to eat. Anyone else ever need to stop because they need to eat? Or are all of you keyboard warrior robots built so that you never eat, never use the toilet, never have any life other than going as quickly as possible down the motorway non-stop for hours and hours? Quickly polished off, and I do mean quickly because I'm sat here eating when apparently I'm supposed to be driving. So unplug the car, push the button, charger hose comes out, back in the holster. It's as simple as that, and away we go. So I have been here for nearly half an hour, but the last 10 minutes plus of that have been eating. I should talk a little bit about efficiency, as I did say at the beginning about would the cold
reduce the amount of range that I had and burn more power? And the answer is yes. It definitely has made me burn more power. I'm 174 miles into this and my efficiency is 312 watt hours per mile, which is what? 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Normally I've been getting 3.8 to 4.2 or something miles per kilowatt hour. So I'm definitely burning more power. It has actually warmed up a little bit. It's now 9 degrees rather than 2 when I was driving around earlier. So we'll see how it goes. We have got to climb over the Cheviot Hills. So again, that'll burn power on the way up and it'll then regen it on the way down. So that's okay. But so far, traffic, apart from the bit in Dundee and apart from the bit in the roadworks and apart from the bit in the other roadworks, so apart from all of those things, traffic's been absolutely fine. But that's fine because I'm not in a particular hurry today. I'm not working, which is good. So we get there, or when we get there, and we enjoy the journey. And I am going on one of my favourite roads in the whole country, which is the A68. It is spectacular from end to end. So it's going to be a nice ride on what's actually quite an interesting day. So there is bits of cloud wisping on the hills, which will make it look even more spectacular. So we're going to do another one of my all-new bits of video montages, which I hope you've been enjoying those. Let me know in the comments if you have. You will let me know in the comments if you haven't, because you do anyway. Let's get on with it. Into Stockton on Tees now. It is 20 to 5. It's been a relaxing trip, to be honest. I'm still comfortable. I've been in the car since 9:15 with a break. It's a long way, even just to get to the Scottish border from the northern bit of Aberdeenshire, so these trips do take a bit of time. And honestly, this is a comfortable car to do it in. Also impressive is that since we stopped at Edinburgh for lunch, our energy usage has declined fairly heavily. So I was north of 300 at that point in terms of watt hours per mile. So I think I was only doing, was it 3.2 2 or something miles per kilowatt hour. I'm now on 245 watt hours per mile, so I am now delivering 4.1 or so watt hours per mile, which is a big improvement. And it's not like I've been going slowly. I mean, there's been a couple of bits of traffic, but where traffic has allowed and the roads have been clear, I've been hoofing it along. The slightly warmer temperatures, it's actually 7 degrees now. Oh guys, don't block the roundabout. Why are you queuing across the roundabout? What is the mentality of let's queue across a roundabout? Anyway, the amount of energy burned, it is 7 degrees again. So I can't even say that it's warmed up particularly. I think the most that it got to was 9, which isn't that warm. But it's just been straightforward. I have been in the car. I mean, okay, so I had all in all a 30-minute stop. So let's say I hadn't had a 30-minute stop at all. Well, that's a nonsense, because I would have had to have had a stop, because if nothing else, I've had food. So we might be able to shave maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or something off that. Would 10 minutes actually make a difference on the length of trip? What is this guy doing? On the length of trip that I've just done? Really? 10 minutes? Are you actually that fussed for it? Because I'll be honest, I'm not. It's absolutely fine. Now then, let's see if I can remember my way into the centre from this way. Happily, I have got a big screen sat nav to point me in the direction, and I do know the centre of Stockton on Tees. To be fair, it's just that it has changed a little bit, and some of the traffic layouts and things have changed. But I am allowed to go down here and then turn left, and then I'm at the hotel. So let's go and do that. They've taken the barrier away. Okay, I've had a few issues with these ones before, but I have at least got the cable out of the trunk and I plugged it into the charger, and it's telling me please hold card below the reader. Well, I don't have a card, but they do have an app, so I'm trying to log on to that. Okay, that's actually now charging, but that has taken 10 minutes of faffing around with the app and their website, because neither of them wanted to work, and it is so far delivering me, hang on, what are we on? 2 kilowatts. Now, to be fair, it's overnight charging, and 2 kilowatts is probably oof. Okay, so after another few minutes of faffing with their app, I've got it going now, and it is charging at a more sensible rate. But this does give me a view as to what it's like driving something that's not Tesla and not having access to the supercharger network as I do, where you're having to faff around with this kind of charger all the time. Because honestly, that took 15 minutes to get the thing going properly. 15 minutes from arrival to actually having it charging properly. That's a long time. It's not particularly good, is it? But I do at least now have the advantage that it will charge the car up while I sleep. And that means I've got a full charge for tomorrow, but that's another video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I release next week's video, and I will see you back here next time here on Just Get a Tesla.